We're live from New Delhi, watching DD India News, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, coming up in the next hour. US President Trump says US will take over Gaza and redevelop the territory, says will visit Gaza, Israel and Saudi soon. Hamas says ready for talks with Trump administration. Zelenskyy says ready for direct talks with Russian president, stresses US, Europe must be present at talks. Trump says talking to Russia and Ukraine to end the conflict. After Italy, Australia also bans the DeepSeek AI program on government devices, citing security risks. Sweden's deadliest attack leaves 11 dead at Örebro school. Prime Minister Prasar Bharati says worst mass shooting in Swedish history. Voting begins in India's national capital for assembly polls. Over 15.5 million electorate set to elect a new 70-member assembly in Delhi. And on to the details now. US President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that the US would take over the Gaza Strip after Palestinians are resettled elsewhere and develop it economically. Trump addressed reporters at the White House on Wednesday after talks with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over the country's conflict with Hamas. Trump repeated his call for Jordan, Egypt and other Arab states to take in Gazans, saying Palestinians there had no alternative but to abandon the coastal strip. But this time, Trump said he would support resettling Palestinians permanently, going beyond his previous suggestions that Arab leaders had already steadfastly rejected.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
Meanwhile, Hamas says it is ready to establish contact and hold talks with the administration of US President Donald Trump. On Wednesday, Russia's RIA state news agency cited senior Hamas Politburo member Moussa Abu Marzouk as talks with the US have become a kind of necessity for Hamas, considering that Washington is a key player in the West Asia. Also, it was Trump's first meeting with a foreign leader since returning to office on the 20th of January. It was meant to showcase close ties between the president and Netanyahu after a period of strained relations between the prime minister and Biden over Israel's handling of the Gaza conflict. On the issue of Israel's sovereignty over the West Bank, Donald Trump said he had not taken a position and would be making an announcement on the issue in the coming weeks. Trump said he hopes to renew an effort toward the historic normalization of relations between Israel and Arab power Saudi Arabia.
With the historic Abraham Accord, something that was really an achievement that was, I think, going to become more and more important because we achieved the most significant Middle East peace agreements in half a century, but the Abraham Accords in particular, and I really believe that many countries will soon be joining this amazing peace and economic development transaction. It really is a big economic development transaction. I think we're going to have a lot of people signing up very quickly. Unfortunately, for 4 years, nobody signed up. Nobody did anything for 4 years except in the negative.
Well, Netanyahu also voiced confidence on Tuesday that he could strike a peace deal with regional rival Saudi Arabia.
I think peace between Israel and Saudi Arabia is not only feasible, I think it's going to happen. I think if we had another half a year in your first term, it would have already happened.
True. Many more, I agree, many more nations.
I think you can't prejudge and pre-guess how we'll achieve it, but I'm committed to achieving it, and I know the President is committed to achieving it, and I think the Saudi leadership is interested to achieve it. So we'll give it a good shot, and I think we'll succeed.
Well, reacting to Trump, Saudi Arabia says they will not establish ties with Israel without the establishment of a Palestinian state, reaffirming that the kingdom's stance is firm and unwavering. Also, after meeting Trump, Netanyahu called him greatest friend Israel has ever had. Israel is preparing to send a high-level delegation to the Qatari capital, Doha, to discuss continued implementation of the Gaza ceasefire agreement. Under the terms of the original deal that sealed a 42-day truce and an exchange of hostages for Palestinian prisoners, talks on the second phase, paving the way to a possible end to the war. And Amit Mukherjee joins us for more on this. Well, Amit, after meeting Trump, Netanyahu called him a greatest friend Israel has ever had. And also Trump said that he wants normalization of relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia. Tell us, how will this bonhomie affect the peace process and the region?
Well, Lipakshi, as of now, Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump, they are talking, peace and establishment of economic relations in the Middle East region. But the fact that he said that he wants to convert Gaza into a Rivera of the Middle East has sent shockwaves across, that particular region in West Asia. And everybody is, they don't really know how to react to that. Of course, Hamas has said that this idea of Donald Trump is to create chaos in the region. But at the same time, they have agreed to, continue their talks with the Trump administration to kind of take the ceasefire agreement, which is now being implemented further. Now, also, we have to look at the fact that this statement of Netanyahu to kind of, take over Gaza and redevelop it comes at a very at a time when, things are very fragile and the hostage exchange is still taking place. So far, out of the 33 hostages with Israeli hostages who are expected to be released in the next 6 weeks, since the hostage release actually started happening from January 19th, a day before Trump took over as president of America. And this is going to continue for the next 6 weeks when we will see the release of 33 hostages. So again, this is at a very fragile stage, and these kind of statements which are being made, doesn't not only has implications on Gaza and Israel, but also, on other people, on the other countries who were involved in the ceasefire deal. For instance, Egypt, Donald Trump, while saying that it will take over Gaza, and Palestinians reacting to the fact that they will not leave their, place of that's their own place. They are the indigenous people of that land, Palestine. They will not leave Gaza. But at the same time, Donald Trump is saying that he is having talks with Israel. He's having talks with Jordan as well as Egypt to accommodate people from Gaza so that this resettlement plan and redevelopment plan can take place. So a lot of chaos, and it's still the entire situation right now. The things which are unfolding after the meeting between President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu. It's still at a very, very early stage, and we will have to see what comes out of it, and it's still early because it's just been a few hours and reactions are pouring in right now. Lipakshi?
Yeah, also, Amit, as you mentioned that Trump has said that US will take over the Gaza Strip, and as you also mentioned that he wants to resettle the Palestinians permanently, as he said. On the other hand, Hamas has now said that it is ready for talks with the Trump administration. How do we see all this?
Like I said, the statements which are coming out right now are still at a very, very early stage. The meeting between Netanyahu and President Trump has happened just a few hours back, and people are still, all those who are involved in the West Asia right now are still waiting to respond to what things are working, how things are playing out. We must also not forget that during the, post the discussion. President Donald Trump also came out saying that the embargo which was slapped on Israel, the arms embargo stands, the de facto arms embargo stands lifted. So again, a lot of things in multiple directions are moving right now, and one needs to kind of put things together once all the reactions come in. Now, Saudi Arabia, while saying In fact, President Donald Trump was also asked about the fact, when he made the announcement about resettling Gazans outside, Palestinians
All
outside
right.
Gaza. He was asked about whether Saudi Arabia has asked for a separate state. To which Donald Trump responded in the negative, saying like,
Right.
no, they
So a lot
haven't.
of pieces to the jigsaw puzzle right now. Thank you so much, Amit, for all those details. And moving on, US President Donald Trump is set to discuss tariffs with Chinese President Xi Jinping. The call comes as new 10% tariffs on Chinese imports take effect, prompting retaliatory measures from Beijing. China has imposed targeted tariffs on US imports and put companies like Google on notice for potential sanctions. Trump's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, hinted that the call could lead to a reprieve for China, but emphasized that any decisions would be up to Trump. Also, the US is reviewing China's compliance with the Phase 1 trade deal. The outcome of the Trump-Xi call remains uncertain, although the US president says he's in no rush to speak with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping, despite expectations of a phone call soon. Meanwhile, US President Trump delayed 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada for a month in exchange for help fighting drug trafficking and immigration. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum convinced Trump to back down on tariffs. Mexico on Tuesday began moving troops to its northern border as part of a 10,000-member deployment that President Claudia Sheinbaum promised US counterpart Donald Trump in exchange for a delay of his tariffs. Mexico's economy minister Marcelo Ebrard says a month is enough to reach an agreement with the US before tariffs take effect.
We are starting a negotiation. Some say a month is not enough. There have been historical processes that have been made in one day, and there are years that nothing happens. This month is more than enough to reach an agreement on these topics.
Also, US President Donald Trump on Tuesday signed an executive order withdrawing Washington from a number of United Nations bodies, including Human Rights Council, and setting up a broader review of US funding for the multilateral organization. The executive order said it withdrew Washington from UNHRC and the main UN Relief Agency for Palestinians, UNRWA, and would review involvement in the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. Well, the move were made in protest against that White House Staff Secretary Will Scarf described as anti-American bias at the UN agencies. Tuesday's order would appear to end all US participation in the Council's activities, which include reviews of countries' human rights records and specific allegations of rights abuses. Also, the 47 members of the UN Human Rights Council are elected by the General Assembly to 3-year terms, with the United States ending its latest term on December 31st. It currently has observer status at the body. Moving on, US President also touched upon Iran, saying he would love to make a deal with the country to improve bilateral relations, but added that Tehran should not develop a nuclear weapon.
They cannot have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. I'm not putting restrictions. They cannot have one thing. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. And if I think that they will have a nuclear weapon, despite what I just said, I think that's going to be very unfortunate for them. If, on the other hand, they can convince us that they won't, and I hope they can, it's very easy to do. It's actually very easy to do. I think they're going to have an unbelievable future.
And still to come in DD India News Hour. IAEA Chief Rafael Grossi warns of nuclear disaster while inspecting damage to power grid in Kyiv, plans visit to Russia. World leaders have extended their condolences on the tragic incident in Sweden. Syria's National Symphony Orchestra performs first concert at Damascus Opera House post-Assad.
This week on Defense Dynamics, India strengthens its firepower. A 10,200 crore boost for Pinaka rockets. What does it mean for battlefield supremacy? From battlefields of Kargil to modern warfare. How India's Grad and Smirch rocket systems pack a punch. China builds a secret war command center 10 times the size of Pentagon. What's the Beijing's endgame? And Pakistan's internal crisis deepens. Political chaos, economic meltdown, and rising insurgency. How does it impact the regional security? Catch it all this Wednesday at 8 p.m. IST only on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lipakshi Kuran, and moving on, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has expressed willingness to negotiate directly with Russian leader Vladimir Putin if it means ending nearly 3 years of conflict. In an interview with British journalist Piers Morgan, Zelenskyy stated he would engage in talks alongside 4 participants likely to be Ukraine, Russia, the EU and the US. Despite this, Putin has rejected direct negotiations. Zelenskyy insists NATO membership remains Kyiv's best security guarantee. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump said US is talking to Russia and Ukraine to end the conflict. International Atomic Energy Agency Chief Rafael Grossi arrived in Kyiv on Tuesday, inspecting a damaged electricity substation and cautioning that continued attacks on Ukraine's power grid could trigger a nuclear disaster. Grossi, alongside Energy Minister German Kalushenko, assessed the damage before announcing plans to visit Russia this week to discuss the situation, including the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant.
Clearly, the focus of my visit this time is to see and to assess personally the situation at in general, the substations, in particular this one. We've chosen Pritska because of its importance in terms of the functioning of the grid here in Ukraine. The situation is quite dire. We should not, I think, hide the fact, and as you can see behind us, this infrastructure has been degraded, but I must say that I'm impressed with the work, with the effort that is being put in order to ensure nuclear safety.
Well, in his nightly address, President Volodymyr Zelenskyy revealed he and Grossi agreed to expand IAEA oversight at Ukraine's nuclear sites. And moving on, Australia has banned DeepSeek, a Chinese AI chatbot, from all government devices due to security concerns. The ban in Australia comes a day after Italy banned the AI bot. The Australian ban, advised by security agencies, aims to protect government systems from potential malware and privacy breaches. DeepSeek has raised concerns globally, with countries like South Korea, Italy and France expressing worries about its data practices. Also, Australia's Home Affairs Department deemed the risk unacceptable and ordered the removal of DeepSeek from all government systems and devices. The ban has bipartisan support, with some politicians urging the public to consider removing DeepSeek from personal devices as well. The move adds to existing tensions between China and Australia, which have previously clashed over Huawei and TikTok. And moving on, a deadly shooting at an adult education center in Sweden has left 11 dead, including the suspected gunman, on Tuesday, marking the country's deadliest gun attack. The shooting took place in Örebro, west of Stockholm, at the Risbergska School for Adults. It is located on a campus that also houses schools for children. According to the local police chief, Roberto Ede Forrest, the gunman had acted alone and that they did not currently suspect terrorism as a motive, though the police had opened an investigation into murder, arson and an aggravated weapons offence.
What we are doing right now involves several parts. Parts of this involves identifying the deceased as well as following up on the conditions of injured. Additionally, there is an extensive investigative effort underway. We still believe that we have the primary perpetrator, although we are not ruling out connections to others. Right now, we feel more confident that no further attacks will take place and the schools that were affected have been evacuated. As I see it, there is no ongoing danger, even though both we and the municipality, of course, have a significant amount of work ahead to discuss what has happened and how to ensure safety.
Well, Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson has called the fatal shooting a very painful day for all the Swedes. Addressing a press conference, Kristersson spoke of a darkness falling over Sweden and said there were many unanswered questions.
It is difficult to take in the magnitude of what has happened today. The darkness that is now falling over Sweden tonight, it is with bottomless sadness that we have received the news from the police that about 10 people have been killed and several have been injured in a school shooting in Örebro. What simply cannot happen has now also happened in Sweden.
Meanwhile, the world leaders have extended their condolences on the tragic incident. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen has offered neighbouring Sweden a country's full support and describing it as a terrible situation.
I am so sad, and all my thoughts are with the victims and their families and with the entire Swedish community and society. It's a terrible situation, and of course, our neighbouring country have all of our support.
Also, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen expressed her sympathy on X, saying, "What happened today in Örebro is truly horrifying. Such violence and terror have no place in our societies, least of all in schools. In this dark hour, we stand with the people of Sweden. Our thoughts are with the victims and we wish them strength and a swift recovery." And moving on, as rebels in eastern Congo's largest city, Goma, declared ceasefire, people rushed to bury some 2,000 victims of last week's conflict as they feared the spread of disease. The M23 rebels who captured Goma declared a ceasefire on Monday and largely upheld it, though some residents reported sporadic shooting and looting on Tuesday. Aid groups have been helping authorities deal with overflowing hospital morgues and bury bodies. Days without power last week affected refrigeration at morgues, leading to a race against time to identify bodies. According to the United Nations, at least 900 people were killed and almost 3,000 injured. The top UN aid official in Congo, Bruno Lemarquis, urged for urgent reopening of Goma's airport to allow much-needed humanitarian flights. Whereas Uganda has deployed more than 1,000 extra soldiers into East Congo in the last week, the deployment has been done near an area where the Kinshasa government is fighting M23 rebels, heightening fears of a regional escalation. As per UN, Uganda will also increase its deployment of soldiers in the north of Goma to officially back Congo President Felix Tshisekedi's army against another rebel force. Well, the UN Human Rights Council will hold a special meeting to discuss the situation in the eastern Congo city of Goma after it was seized by Rwanda-backed M23 rebels. The conflict, which began last week, has led to a surge in human rights violations. The UN Rights Office said the violations include summary executions, the bombing of displacement camps, reports of gang rape and other sexual violence. The Democratic Republic of Congo requested the session and it would take place on February 7th in Geneva. So far, 27 countries have supported the meeting, surpassing the requirement for a third of the 47-member council. Well, the Bangladesh High Court refused to grant bail to former ISKCON leader Chinmoy Krishnadas Brahmachari and Bangladesh Samilito Sanatan Jagran Jyoth spokesperson in a sedition case filed over alleged desecration of the national flag. The court did, however, issue a ruling requesting that the government provide an explanation within 2 weeks as to why Chinmoy Krishnadas should not be released on bail in this particular case. On November 25th, Das was taken into custody from Dhaka airport on allegation of sedition. Since November 26th of last year, he's been incarcerated. And Nepal Telecom celebrated its 21st anniversary on Tuesday. On the occasion, Minister for Communication and Information Technology Prithvi Subha Gurung urged Nepal Telecom to adopt advanced technology and expand its services to compete effectively with private companies. He also emphasized that the public should hold at least 25% of Nepal Telecom shares to ensure the company remains accountable to the people. For the region with limited cellular and indoor coverage, Nepal Telecom launched Wi-Fi services today. The technology uses the SIM number provided by the company to connect to the company's core network via Wi-Fi from anywhere in the world. This makes it easy for customers to make and receive calls on their existing mobile numbers without relying on OTT apps. And some weather news. Heavy snowfall disrupted traffic and air travel in Japan's northernmost main island of Hokkaido. A record-breaking 1.2 meters of snow fell in just 12 hours in the city of Obihiro. Around 370 schools were also reported closed on Tuesday as a result of the snow. According to the weather officials, low pressure will continue to bring blizzards to parts of northern Japan for the next 5 days. And now let's take a look at other stories making news around the world today. Crews recovered bodies of all the 67 victims of last week's mid-air collision of an American Airlines flight and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter near Washington, D.C. Crews continued working to recover the wreckage of the passenger plane, a Bombardier CRJ-700 operated by American Eagle Airlines from the frigid waters of the Potomac. Work to recover the chopper will begin when the plane work is done. Farmers and teachers joined students as a new wave of anti-corruption protests sweep Serbia. Thousands marched through the streets in the latest anti-government protest over a railway station disaster that killed 15 people in November. Prosecutors have so far charged 13 people over the disaster. However, the protesters blamed the tragedy on corruption within President Alexander Vucic's government and mismanagement. A new museum dedicated to Czech-born Art Nouveau painter Alphonse Mucha will open in Prague, displaying over 100 works of art from the family collection. It will also provide a long-sought home for Mucha's Grand Slav epic cycle. To rounds of applause, the musicians of Syria's National Symphony Orchestra took their place on stage for their first classical concert at the Damascus Opera House since Bashar al-Assad's ouster. The concert was conducted by Misak Bagbaudarian, a member of Syria's Armenian minority, and included works by Beethoven and Tchaikovsky apart from Syrian composers. And still to come on DD India News Hour. India's Home Minister Amit Shah chairs a security review meeting on Jammu and Kashmir. PM Modi to visit Mahakumbh Mela 2025 in Prayagraj to take holy dip at Sangam, promoting India's spiritual legacy. Sonmarg of India's Jammu and Kashmir hosts exciting ice skating event.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lepakshi Khurana, and time now for a quick recap of the headlines. US President Trump says US will take over Gaza and redevelop the territory, says will visit Gaza. Israel and Saudi soon. Hamas says ready for talks with Trump administration. Zelenskyy says ready for direct talks with Russian president, stresses US, Europe must be present at talks. Trump says talking to Russia and Ukraine to end the conflict. After Italy, Australia also bans DeepSeek AI program on government devices, citing security risks. Sweden's deadliest attack leaves 11 dead at Örebro school. Prime Minister Kristersson says worst mass shooting in Swedish history. Voting begins in India's national capital for assembly polls. Over 15.5 million electorate set to elect a new 70-member assembly in Delhi. Well, voting is underway for 70 assembly seats in the national capital, Delhi. Over 15.5 million voters will cast their votes to seal the fate of 699 candidates in a single phase. The key candidates in the fray are Aam Aadmi Party National Convener Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi Chief Minister Atishi and Delhi Minister Gopal Rai, BJP's Vijendra Gupta, Pravesh Verma, Ramesh Bidhuri and Kailash Gehlot. Congress has fielded Sandeep Dixit, Harun Yusuf and Alka Lamba. Well, Delhi BJP President Virendra Sachdeva, BJP candidate Pravesh Verma and Congress candidate Sandeep Dixit and Alka Lamba were among the early voters who exercised their franchise in their respective assembly constituencies. Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, Dr. S. Jaishankar and Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi also casted their vote during early voting hours.
Sir, thank you, bhai.
Please.
Well, EAM Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar also casted his vote during the early morning hours. Voting is underway for the 70 assembly seats in the national capital, Delhi, and over 15.5 million voters will cast their votes to seal the fate of 699 candidates in a single phase. Also, Election Commissioner Sukhbir Singh Sandhu, Delhi CP Sanjay Arora and Additional Secretary Revenue Department Vivek Agarwal also exercised their franchise. The single-phase voting will continue till 6 p.m. IST, while the results will be announced on the 8th of February. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged the voters to participate in this festival of democracy with full enthusiasm and cast their valuable vote. In a tweet, he said, "On this occasion, my special wishes to all the young friends who are going to vote for the first time. Remember, first vote, then refreshment." And for more on the elections, we have Debyendu Mondal and Anil Thomas joining us from Delhi. Debyendu, my first question to you, how is the voting going, and have you spoken to some of the early voters out there?
Well, Lipakshi, the voting is underway in the 70 assembly constituencies of Delhi. We are at polling booth number 42 in the New Delhi constituency. Just now we witnessed the Member of Parliament from New Delhi, Bansuri Swaraj, casting her vote in this particular polling booth in New Delhi. Of course, we have been speaking to voters since morning. We have been coming to cast their vote. Different people coming here with different, things in their mind and on the issues that they will be casting their vote. And of course, some of the important key issues on which they will be casting and they have been casting their vote since morning is, of course, development, pollution, the issue of pollution. Development in Delhi are some of the key issues that the people of Delhi have been casting their vote here since morning. But of course, this coveted New Delhi constituency is in fact witnessing a very, very tough contest between the former Chief Minister of Delhi and Aam Aadmi Party Chief Arvind Kejriwal, along with the BJP's Pravesh Verma, as well as, the BJP, in fact, the Congress's Sandeep Dixit, who is the son of former Chief Minister of Delhi, Sheila Dixit. So, of course, this is a very interesting constituency where people are coming in since morning to cast their vote. Lipakshi.
All right. Anil, where are you right now, and how is the voting going on there? And what are the key issues that voters in Delhi are focusing on as they head to the polls today?
Good morning, Lipakshi. Well, I am at Nirman Bhavan. This is a high-profile, voting center where you'll see VVIPs buzzing in and out. But the morning 1 hour of voting has been pretty slow in terms of pickup. The notable faces that have come here to vote have been the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, who a short while ago landed to vote and did urge the people to come out and vote in large numbers to exercise their franchise. And I think we see slowly the people are coming to this particular voting booth here to cast their vote. But the early momentum in Delhi is slow. And I think people understand that, you can vote till 6 p.m. So I think you will slowly see the pace or the people coming in numbers, slowly picking up pace as the day progresses. The issues that Delhi faces, this is as we all know, this is a triangular contest that you see between the three parties, two parties going neck to neck. And it could all go down to the wire. Remember, after looking for a hat-trick offense, BJP trying to win back power after a long time and looking to turn the tables. Congress going solo, ditching its 2024 election partner, going solo in this election. But the main issues that could be, we've seen n number of issues that have been there. And it's also an election where we've seen, freebies being spread like, never before. And I think the people are finding it difficult to choose between all the three options that have been given for all three options given to them. And I think somewhere deep down, you'll have to wait and watch how's the voting percentage going to be. This is the first time that you see elections in midweek in Delhi. And if the election percentage goes up, it's generally an indication that people want change. We'll have to wait and watch. But early morning trend, not much of enthusiasm. But as the day progresses, we'll see the pace picking up.
All right. All right, Debyendu, tell us about all the security arrangements in place to ensure smooth voting today.
Lipakshi, Delhi does not witness much of a chaos during voting. This has been the trend for a very long time. But of course, having said this, yes, security arrangements are tightly put in place across all the 70 assembly constituencies that are going to polls today. And we see a lot of police presence, barricades across different parts of the national capital where voting are taking place. The polling booths are being manned by Delhi police. There are barricades that have been put in place before you enter the polling booth, as well as on the road that approaches to the polling booths. Of course, what starkly that I have noticed this time around is that security has been tightened, quite a bit this time around. If I talk about the other elections that I've seen in Delhi, this time around the security seems to be much tightened than what it used to be in the earlier years. And of course, this is because this time Delhi is witnessing a very, very tough contest between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. And the Congress is, of course, going solo, as my colleague Anil was saying. But the contest is, of course, between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, where the Aam Aadmi Party is trying to save its bastion of Delhi, whereas the BJP is trying to overturn the Aam Aadmi Party and come to power after a very, very long time in the National Capital Region. And this is a prestige battle for both the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party this time around. Lipakshi.
All right, absolutely. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us and giving us all those insights. And moving on, India's Home Minister Amit Shah chaired a security review meeting on Jammu and Kashmir in New Delhi on Tuesday. The meeting was attended by Home Secretary Govind Mohan, Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi and other senior officials. In the last review meeting held last month, the Union Home Minister directed all security agencies to adopt a zero-tolerance policy against terrorism and work in a coordinated manner to eliminate terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. He emphasized the implementation of the Area Domination Plan and Zero Terror Plan in mission mode. And now to all the latest from the Mahakumbh, the largest gathering of humans anywhere on the planet. And India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Mahakumbh Mela 2025 in Prayagraj on Wednesday. He will take a holy dip at the Sangam and offer prayers to Ma Ganga. Mahakumbh 2025 is the world's largest spiritual and cultural gathering, attracting devotees from across the globe. The Mahakumbh will continue until Mahashivratri on 26th of February. In line with his commitment to promote and preserve India's spiritual and cultural heritage, Prime Minister has consistently taken proactive steps to enhance infrastructure and facilities at pilgrimage sites. And at the Mahakumbh Mela in Prayagraj, both public and private banks are offering essential banking services like cash deposits, withdrawals and fund transfers to pilgrims. Bank managers from State Bank of India and Punjab National Bank highlighted their efforts to assist devotees, including raising awareness about cyber fraud. Bank of Baroda went a step further by setting up AI-driven customer support, full-fledged branches with forex transaction facilities in Prayagraj to facilitate the visitors. Well, several beneficiaries have thanked the government for these services. The Mahakumbh, which started on 13th of January, ends on the 26th of February, has seen over 380 million devotees take a holy dip in the Triveni Sangam till now. And India's Siddharth Bharadwaj explores the replica of the Ram temple that has been unveiled at Mahakumbh 2025. The next report examines the significance of the unveiling of this Ram temple replica at Prayagraj during the Mahakumbh 2025.
At the Mahakumbh 2025, a remarkable symbol of faith and devotion has been unveiled, the replica of the Ram temple. This stunning structure, now standing tall amidst the spiritual hub of the Kumbh, draws thousands of devotees every day from all across the country. The temple here in Prayagraj has become one of the central attractions of the Kumbh Mela, symbolizing a deep connection to the history and culture of India. Crafted with exceptional detail, the replica of the Ram temple allows devotees to connect with the divine, much like the original temple in Ayodhya.
I'm feeling very good because it is very it is very beautiful place, and I think I don't go Ayodhya, so I very happy.
It is ditto like Ayodhya temple. Mahakumbh, all facilities are very good, experience are very good.
The temple's architecture mirrors the design and grandeur of the Ram temple in Ayodhya.
Totally handicraft, totally man work, handmade work, using fiber or fabric or bamboo, totally.
The materials used to construct the replica include bamboo, foam sheets and fiber, with bamboo forming the primary structural foundation. The replica stands at an impressive 81 feet in height. Inside the replica, the Ram Lala idol radiates divinity, offering devotees a moment to connect with Lord Ram's presence. The replica gives devotees at Mahakumbh 2025 an opportunity to witness the essence of the Ram temple in Ayodhya.
For those who come here with open hearts, this journey is not just about the destination, but about the experience that stays with them forever. With camera person Mukul Sharma, this is Siddharth Bharadwaj reporting for D-Day India in Prayagraj.
All right, and now Siddharth Bharadwaj joins us from Prayagraj. Well, Siddharth, Prime Minister to take the holy dip today. Tell us about the excitement there among the people.
Oh, a very good morning, first of all, from the holy land of Prayagraj, Deepakshi, and definitely you are right. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will take sacred dip in the Triveni Sangam, which is the confluence of River Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. And here you can see behind me the large influx of tourists, and we had a word with localites also, and all the devotees and all the tourists from all around the world, not just from the country. They are very, very excited to see Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And in fact, while we were coming here, where I am standing right now, people were asking that what time will Prime Minister come, and asking all those details. And they said that, you know, they just want to go there and they just want to have a glimpse of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They have come here from all walks of life, Lepaksi, and like I say time and again, that people here come from all walks of life. They are walking here from 15 to 20 kilometers because, you know, as far as the vehicular movement is concerned, then it is stopped like around 10 to 15 kilometers from the Mela premises, and people are coming here, you know, walking. It's just the devotion, it's pure devotion which is bringing them here, they say. And the alignment is such that after 144 years, this alignment has come, which is known as Purna Mahakumbh and Mahakumbh. So people say that they don't want to miss this opportunity. They, you know, it is once in a lifetime experience, and they are going at the Triveni Sangam to take the holy dip there, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also be coming today at around 11, and he'll be also performing puja and aarti there, and he's expected to meet some saints and sadhus as well. So yes, the excitement is certainly palpable, and people are really, really excited to have a glimpse of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. You know, the security arrangements are certainly tight. There is a 7-layer security system that has been deployed along with CCTV cameras and AI integrated cameras, you know, which is very crucial. And it is, you know, the people are every corner. I mean, it is being ensured that every corner of the Mela premises remains safe and secure for the devotees who are coming here from all walks of life. You have water personnel, you have water ambulance, you have fire department, you have temporary hospital that has been set up, is having around 32 OPDs. You know, having major and minor operation theatre, emergency center. So yes, definitely from the security point of view and from the arrangements point of view, the security is really, really tight, and arrangements are up to the mark to make sure that people who are coming here, the devotees who are coming here, they get a good experience of Mahakumbh 2025. Lepaksi, this is Mahakumbh 2025. This is Divya, Bhavya, Digital. This is grand, divine, digital. This is the confluence of emotion. This is the confluence of culture. This is confluence of devotion. And people who are coming here, they just have smiles on their faces, and they just want to have a good experience of Mahakumbh 2025.
Immaculate arrangements out there. Thank you so much, Siddharth, for all those details from Prayagraj. And now let's take a look at other stories making news. Indian Army mobilized to assist in the aftermath of a train collision and derailment in India's Uttar Pradesh. The incident occurred on Tuesday when a moving goods train collided with a stationary goods train, leading to the derailment of an engine and a guard's coach. No casualties have been reported. The Army team has successfully removed one guard wagon from the track, while efforts are ongoing for the removal of the locomotive using high-duty forklifts. Late Chaman Arora has been honoured with the Sahitya Akademi Award 2024 in Dogri for his book Ik Hor Ashtavama. The Ministry of Culture announced that the book was unanimously selected by a 3-member jury. The award, including a casket with an engraved copper plague and a cash prize of 1 lakh rupees, will be presented to the Arora's family on March 8th in New Delhi. Sahitya Akademi President Madhav Kaushik approved the decision. Sonmarg town of Indian UT of Jammu and Kashmir is alive with excitement as an ice skating competition organised by SDN State Tourism aims to promote winter sports and local talent. The event features 20 skaters under expert guidance. Local residents and participants are enthusiastic about the initiative, which enhances Sonmarg's reputation as a winter sports hub. The recently inaugurated Sonmarg Tunnel by PM Modi is expected to boost winter sports and tourism, driving economic growth and ensuring year-round access to the valley. Himachal Pradesh witnessed fresh snowfall in higher reaches today, including the north portal of Atal Tunnel in Rohtang and Kalpa in Kinnaur district. Dharamshala and Kangra also received snow, while Shimla and Bhantar experienced drizzle. The local meteorological office has issued a yellow warning for thunderstorms and lightning in Una, Bilaspur, Hamirpur, Chamba, Kangra and Solan tomorrow. Police advised commuters to avoid unnecessary travel due to slippery roads and reduced visibility. Well, you're watching DD India News Hour. Time now for some sports news. Rising shuttler Anmol Karb continued her stellar run at the 38th National Games. She stunned top seed Anupama Upadhyay in straight games to win gold in the women's single final. In an exclusive chat with DD India's correspondent Narayan Singh, she praised the intense competition at the event.
There are many talented shuttlers in the country right now. One of them is Anmol Karb, who won the women's singles title at the national game. Anmol, congratulations. How was the competition here at the national game?
I think the competition was very tough because India's top players were competing in this tournament. So I think the competition level was very hard, and I think I played well and I won this tournament.
And you defeated the defending champion Anupama. So final was, even it was a thrilling. So what was the key takeaways of the final match?
There was no any such strategy that I followed, but I think I just went on to the court to just give my 100% and just play freely. There was no such pressure on me. So I think I just played my best and I just won the tournament.
So talking about the platform of the national game here, many international athletes, players are also there. You are also constantly performing at the international stage. Laksh was there here. So how this environment helps the young athletes?
I think it's a nice environment. It gives international feeling, same as the international level, and it was a nice experience playing with the senior people here. I got many learnings from this tournament.
What's the next target from here, after winning the medal at the national games?
Next target is to perform well in my 12th class board exams. That is the main focus right now after this tournament. After that, I'll go back to my academy and my coaches will suggest and think best and well only for me. So I'll follow my coach's advice.
So definitely here the young stars are shining, and definitely the future of the Indian badminton is bright because we have the players like Anmol Karb who are consistently performing at the national and international events. Camera person Manmohan, Narayan Singh, DD India, Dehradun.
And India's rising tennis star, 15-year-old Maya, delivered a stunning performance at the Mumbai Open WTA 125, defeating Belarusian Irina Shimanovic to advance to the round of 16. The young sensation outplayed her most experienced opponent with a scoreline of 6-4, 6-1, displaying remarkable precision and composure. Meanwhile, India's wildcard entry, Ankita Raina, dominated compatriot Vaishnavi Atkar, securing a 6-2, 6-2 victory as well. Shivali Bhamidipati too delivered a commanding performance, dismantling Russia's Alina Pridankina in a one-sided contest. And former Sri Lankan captain Dimuta Karunaratne will retire from Test cricket after his 100th appearance in the format against Australia at Colombo. With Australia leading the series 1-0, the second Test at Galle will take place from February 6th onwards. Karunaratne made his Test debut in 2012 against New Zealand. In 99 tests, he has scored more than runs with 16 centuries and 39 50s. He is the fourth highest run getter for Sri Lanka in Test and will now become the 7th Sri Lankan player to reach 100 tests. Well, as the soft glow of lanterns danced across the night sky, the Chinese city of Kunming came alive with the magic of the Spring Festival. The sweet scent of local delicacies wafted through the air, enticing the visitors to indulge in the flavors of the season. At Doordarshan Pavilion, a kaleidoscope of colors and patterns mesmerized nearly 60,000 visitors, transporting them to a world of wonder and enchantment. The lanterns, adorned with iconic Yunnan symbols, told a story of tradition and culture, weaving a spell of joy and celebration that filled the hearts of all who experienced it. Take a look. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. Well, we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Vipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.